Good morning. Sorry for the delay. One of our members is having some technical difficulties, so we will start shortly. We're on the record. Good morning, everyone. As chairperson of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board for the District of Columbia, in accordance with DC Code Section 2576 of the Open Meetings Act, I'm welcoming you to the regular scheduled meeting of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board. This meeting is being conducted pursuant to guidance made available by the District of Columbia's Office of Open Government regarding electronic meetings held by public bodies during the public health emergency. Pursuant to this guidance, notice of today's meeting was provided 48 hours in advance of the meeting on ABRA's website and on the district's central meeting calendar. The notice included the time, date, agenda, and call-in or login information for public participation. This electronic meeting has been hosted by a WebEx account provided by the District of Columbia government. Please address any questions or complaints to the OOG at opengovoffice@dc.gov. My name is Donovan Anderson. I'm chairman of the board. I would like to introduce the other members of the ABC board who are also participating electronically pursuant to Mayor's Order 2020-054. Please respond when I announce your name. Mr. James Short.
Mr. James Short, present.
Ms. Rafi Crockett.
Rafi Crockett, present.
Ms. Jenny Henson.
Jenny Hansen, present.
Mr. Edward Grandis.
Edward Grandis, present.
The board has five members in attendance for the conduct of business today, and that constitutes a quorum. Before we get underway with today's hearing calendar, I need to make a few instructions very clear so that the conduct of these hearings is understood by everyone. There are two cases on this morning's calendar. Once your case is called, I will take a moment for our IT specialist to elevate the rights for each party to enable their camera and microphone. Then and only then will you have the ability to enable your microphone. Should you have any questions or require technical assistance during the hearing, please submit them using the question and answer feature or email simone.andrews2@dc.gov. Our first order of business today is a protest hearing status, case number 21 PRO 00014, Lee's Liquor, license number 095751. Ms. Andrews, can you please elevate the rights of the participants in this case, please?
Sure, stand by. Mr. Lee, have been elevated. Ms. Brown, your rights have been elevated. That's all, Mr. Chair.
All right. Is Mr. Thompson on the line? He's not.
No, sir.
All right. Good morning, everyone. What I'm going to ask everyone to do, if you're not speaking, please mute your microphone because there will be feedback. So only open your microphone, unmute your microphone if you are speaking, please. All right. All right. Could I have everyone identify themselves for the record, starting with the applicant?
Good morning, board members. My name is Kevin Lee, Kevinlee. I'm an attorney for the Lee's Liquor in the matter of protest over liquor liquors.
Mr. Lee, is the licensee going to be here today? You're expecting to participate?
I'm attend on half of the licenses. He's not here today.
Thank you.
Right.
Ms. Brown?
Tiffany Brown, ANC Commissioner, 7B02, Chair of ANC 7B, protestant.
Good morning. Oh, by the way, I just want to alert the public that I do know Tiffany Brown, the ANC Commissioner for 7B. I was an ANC Commissioner through 2018, I believe, and I served on the ANC as a member with Ms. Brown. However, I do not believe that my knowledge of her and my knowledge of this ANC, and also this establishment is within the confines of ANC 7B where I live. However, I do not believe that my knowledge of this establishment or my knowledge of Ms. Brown will have any way in sway me one way or the other in making a decision. All right, thank you. It was my understanding. Yes, Mr. Short. Yes, Mr. Short.
Yes, I too would like to state that I reside in ANC 7B, and I do know our ANC commissioner, and it will have no bearing on my decision making in this process today either. Thank you.
All right, thank you, Mr. Short. All right. It was my understanding that the transfer was being protested by ANC 8A, and conditional standing was granted to ANC 8A at the roll call hearing. I do not see a commissioner from ANC 8A here today. Does anyone know what's going on? Because I need to make a determination.
The Commissioner, Brian Thompson, he is out of town at this time for his job.
Are you, Ms. Brown, are you here representing the ANC 8A, or are you just representing ANC 7B?
Just 7B. But you asked if anyone knew. He mentioned, he emailed for our mediation hearing that he would not be able to appear for mediation because of a work obligation.
I'm sorry, what do you mean he emailed mediation?
We had a mediation, we met yesterday, and he indicated in that process by email that he would not be at mediation.
He would not
Be at mediation. He did not say anything about the status hearing.
All right, fine. Mr. Lee, is there a motion you wish to make?
First of all, I would just ask about Mr. Thompson from the ANC 8A didn't notify anything to the status hearing to the board. Does it affect his standing, or?
I'm sorry, what did you say, Mr. Lee?
He didn't notify his absence to the status hearing to the board. Does it affect to his standing for the protest? Because he already notified to only mediation session.
Mr. Lee,
Yes.
the question I asked you, sir, is there a motion that you want to raise?
I want to.
What is the motion you want to raise, sir?
Actually dismiss the ANC 8A
All right.
from the protest standing.
Thank you. ANC, it is clear to all parties that you are supposed to appear at the status hearing. It was my understanding that conditional standing was provided to ANC 8A at the roll call hearing. Initially, council, it's my understanding, council had objected to standing being granted to ANC 8A. However, pursuant to 25601A4, an affected ANC is afforded standing in a protest hearing. And so the determination, at least at the roll call hearing, was that ANC 8A could have participated in this protest pursuant to 25601A4 as an affected ANC. The ANC 8A has not informed the board that they would be unable to participate at this hearing today. So therefore, I will make a motion. A motion was made by the applicant to dismiss ANC 8A. And so therefore, I will then make a motion to the board for the board to approve the motion and dismiss ANC 8A. Is there a second?
Ed Grandis.
Mr. Grandis has seconded the motion. I will now take a roll call vote on the motion that's been properly seconded by Mr. Grandis. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Crockett.
Rafi Crockett, I agree.
Ms. Hanson.
Jenny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis agrees.
And Mr. Anderson, I agree. The matter passed 5-0. The board has therefore dismissed ANC 8A from this protest. By operation of law, ANC 8A has 10 days once the decision is issued. They have 10 days to give good notice, good cause to the board why they were not available to attend this hearing today. And if they were not available to attend this hearing today, why did they not ask someone to represent their interests today? All right. Are there any other preliminary issues that need to be brought to the attention of the board?
Yeah, I'm just report to the,
Yes, Mr.
Can I?
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm just a report to the board. Yesterday, we met at the mediation with the ANC 7B, and we decided to continue the negotiation for the settlement agreement with the ANC 7B.
All right, thank you. Any preliminary issues, Ms. Brown?
That was what I was going to also add. It appears that the applicant has about 3 different settlement agreements, and so we were going to look to have a joint one with 8A and 7B, so and have the other ones to be canceled, superseded, the new agreement be superseded by. But if 8A no longer has standing, then I'm not sure how that goes. If they no longer have standing about entering into a settlement agreement.
Well, 8A no longer has standing to participate in this protest matter. Whatever is done as far as a settlement agreement, that's between the parties. The board is not in the board is not involved in those procedures. But I'm just saying all that was done today was that they did not have standing to participate in this protest proceeding. However, as I stated, once the board order is issued, they will be given 10 days to respond. Why is it that they should not be dismissed for their lack of appearance today? But the board takes no role in whatever negotiation that occurs between the parties or whoever it is that the parties decide to include or not include in a settlement agreement. So I just want that to be clear. All right. This matter, if there are no other preliminary matters, then this matter will be scheduled for a protest hearing on June 10th at 1:30 p.m. So June 10th at 1:30 p.m. All right. Now that we have scheduled this matter for a protest hearing, there are a few things that I would like to instruct you about because the board's practices under the COVID-19 restrictions have changed. As you know, the board's hearings are conducted virtually. So it is more important than ever that the protest hearings are focused and addresses only those issues that are being protested. Following the hearing, you will be receiving an email from AGC April Randall that will include a copy of a protest information form PIP and a copy of an exhibit form, as well as specific instructions for the hearing. You are required to complete and submit the PIP and exhibit forms at least 7 days before the date of the hearing. If we do not receive a copy of your forms 7 days before the hearing, your application or your protest may be subject to dismissal. These documents need to be submitted to abra.legal.dc.gov and to the opposing parties. Please know that these documents greatly assist the board in narrowing the protest issues, facilitating the process, and keeping the parties on point during the hearing. Each side is limited to no more than 5 witnesses, and you will only have 60 minutes to present your case. This includes all direct and cross-examination. The board does not intend to hear testimony on matters that are not relevant to these issues that are being protested. Are there any questions by anyone?
No questions, but
No questions.
All right. Thank you.
Confirm the protest, the hearing date, it's June 10th, 1:30.
June 10th at 1:30.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. We thank you greatly for your. Yes, Mr. Short.
Yes, thank you. Just for the record, I'd like to ask Commissioner Tiffany Brown if she could enlighten us on the boundaries between 7B and 8A, because this transfer is being asked to be moved within the same block. And just for the record, I would like anyone who reads the transcript to understand why we have 2 ANCs involved in this proceeding.
Well, Mr. Short, it's not. She doesn't have to give the boundary because by operation of law, 25-601A4 basically stated an affected ANC. So therefore, if there is another ANC that borders that boundaries the ANC, so it doesn't the establishment does not have to be in 8A. Because it's affected, because it's right next to 8A. So that's why in this particular case, ANC 8A would have standing because it's under the law. It's what's considered an affected ANC.
Mr. Chair, just for the record, what you said is completely correct, and I do understand the statute. I would like, actually, if there is a street boundary that separates the two, can that go on the record?
Ms. Brown, do you know?
So I believe it's Minnesota Avenue, which is right around the corner from where the establishment is.
Thank you. That's all, what I want on the record, sir. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Tiffany Brown.
Well, Mr. Chair,
Yes,
yeah,
Mr.
I
Yes.
want to add, up at the local hearing, I've just raised a standing issue about the ANC 8A. But after that, I found that there was a previous voluntary agreement with the ANC 8A. So two voluntary agreements before. So I thought that it's already board to discuss about the standing issue about the ANC 8A. That's why I didn't write a letter to the board to make an issue about it.
Thank you,
That's
Mr. Lee.
for your record. Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mr. Lee. And so that's why, as I stated, pursuant to 25-601A4, 8A is an affected, as per the statute, 8A is an affected ANC. And so therefore, although the establishment might not necessarily be within the boundaries of ANC 8A, because as per the statute, it's an affected ANC. And that's all over the city. If there's any establishment that's an affected ANC in the sense that although the establishment is not within that specific ANC, if they are an affected ANC as per the statute, then they automatically have standing to protest the renewal or any changes that are being made to the license of an establishment. All right, thank you. All right, so we thank you greatly for your cooperation. If you have any questions at any time leading up to the hearing, please do not hesitate to contact Assistant General Counsel April Randall at 202-329-6354. Thank you very much for your participation today. Good luck in your discussions. And I hope I don't see you June 10th at 1:30, but if the board sees you June 10th at 1:30, we will make a decision. But as I've always stated before, I prefer if there are settlement agreements because the community and the establishment could amicably work out their differences, and the board would not have to make the decision for them. So good luck in your continued negotiations and have a great day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thanks for your time.
All right, bye-bye. All right. All right. The next case in our calendar is case number 20 PRO 00053 DC Food Market, license number 106962. This hearing is continued to May 13th, 2021 at 10 a.m. at the request of the licensee with the consent of the protestant. So again, this hearing is going to be May 13th, at 10 a.m. All right, the board will therefore be in recess until our 1:30 protest hearing. Thank you very much. I now direct the board members to return to executive session for further business. Thank you. All right, we're back on the record. I had announced earlier this morning that the board would be in recess until our 1:30 protest hearing. However, the board was notified that that in case number 20 PRO 00055, Charles Corner, license number 094783, that the parties provided a settlement agreement to the board. So therefore, the 1:30 hearing therefore has been canceled based on the submission of a settlement agreement provided to the board for its review and approval. So that case is canceled. All right. There are no other business on our morning calendar, I'm sorry, on our calendar for the day. So I will therefore now move towards closing the record. As chairperson of the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board for the District of Columbia, in accordance with Title III, Chapter 405, Office of Open Government, I move that the ABC Board hold a closed meeting on April 28th, 2021, for the purpose of discussing and hearing reports concerning ongoing or planned investigations of alleged criminal or civil misconduct or violations of law or regulations, and seeking legal advice from our legal counsel on the board's investigative agenda, legal agenda, and licensing agenda for April 28th, 2021, as published in the DC Registry on April 23rd, 2021. Is there a second?
Mr. Short, I second.
Mr. Short has seconded the motion. We'll now have a roll call vote on the motion that was properly seconded by Mr. Short. Mr. Short.
Mr. Short, I agree.
Ms. Crockett.
Rafi Crockett, I agree.
Ms. Henson.
Penny Hansen, I agree.
Mr. Grandis.
Edward Grandis, I agree.
Mr. Anderson, I agree. As it appears that the motion has passed, I hereby give notice that the ABC Board will hold this aforementioned closed meeting. Pursuant to the Open Meetings Act, notice will also be posted on the ABC Board Hearing Room Bulletin Board, placed on electronic calendar on AFRA's website, and published in the DC Registry in as timely a manner as practical. We're now adjourned for the day. Thank you very much. I will now ask the board members to return to executive session for further business. Thank you very much. Have a great day.